Hello. Jumping in again to my life. Um, so I've been actually, it's a very hard thing what's going on with Charlie. Just to give you a little, rundown, and I'm not sure if I, brought this up before, but like I had actually received this information from my husband who had told him about the situation. I'm not sure if the person was there, but my husband received a text message saying of what just had happened. And this is around in the afternoonish. My husband decided to, call me, let me know what was going on. He immediately told me that Charlie had been shot. I immediately jumped into my YouTube, because it's one of the easiest and fastest way, I like to say, of getting communication. But I'm not sure if y'all can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me put this back again. So during this time that my husband called me to tell me what was going on, I went to go look it up on YouTube because, like I said, it's one of the easiest way of communications. For me, so it was pretty weird what was going on. But then I refreshed my page within like matters of seconds, um, and I come to find out that it was true, that he had been shot. Now, in the beginning, it was just said that he was shot and he was in critical conditions. And then and then I got the chance to see a video, and within that video, I will kid you not, and I could not believe what was going on. I fell on my knees and I just started praying. I started praying. I started crying. I could not believe what was going on. To be honest with you, till this day, till right now, till this second, I can't believe what just happened. I can't believe the amount of hatred, the amount of hate, the amount of everything that now these days we cannot share our opinions because we're going to get killed, or we can't, you know, believe in God because we're going to get killed. Something that I was looking at one of the videos of Charlie and I thought it was amazing. It was when someone once asked him, when you leave this world, what do you want to be remembered by? And Charlie said, I want to be remembered by the way I believed in God, his own faith. And it's funny when I saw that video because that is how I remember Charlie. That is how I came to know about him. When I heard him talking about the values, when I heard him talking about, believing in God and keeping marriage together and your kids, what the things that we should be teaching them, all these things, it baffled me because I had not have heard the way he say things personally. I didn't. I never have. So I was just amazed at the situation, you guys. I'm still baffled. Um, you know, Something that Charlie said in a while back, and I'm trying to find it, something that stuck with me. Christians, and I'm trying to find it, to be honest with you. So you guys can just bear with me because my mind has been all over the place today. The situation that happened with that young lady on August 22nd being stabbed to death. And then we have the situation, and then we have, September 11 today, which is an amazing, also painful day, where the situation is not that it takes it away, but it happened in a time where also America was grieving, the loss of people that died, what happened in the buildings, and we went to war, and a whole chaos came from that. And it's very sad that this happened to Charlie. It's very sad. But Um, I want to try to find something that he said that I thought it was, to be honest with you, I thought it was pretty interesting what I had seen when I saw the videos about him. Um, uh, how are you guys doing today? I know it's really hard for some of y'all. Um, um, I thought it was in John. I'm not sure what it was, but he said something about in the lines that, Christians suffered, that, the Christians need to fight evil, to fight, sorry, evil. Let me see if I can find it right now. Maybe if any of y'all know what he said. I think it was you. I don't know what it was, but he said something about, that the Christians need to fight the evil. And that's what I always felt that way. It felt that us here in the world as Christian, we have a job, and our job is to, fight evil the best that we can. And how do you fight evil? Well, pretty much by talking about the word of God, trying to keep the teachings of God. That is how you fight evil, because the evil doesn't want you to be happy. He wants to steal your joy. Um, Let me see if I can find that verse. And every time I know I'm going through a really hard moment, this is the verse that always comes up. And this is funny about reading the Bible. It's that you're not going to remember everything, right? But if you open the Bible and start reading it, there's verses that stay in your heart. And whenever you go through a hard moment, those verses are what helps you to stay strong. Um, your time of grief, let me see. Oh man. John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. Sorry you guys, I just get emotional. I have come that day, may have life and have it to the full. To the full. Um, I'm just all over the place. And I know that many of you feel that way. I really, really, really do. But yes, John 10:10. The thief comes only yesterday. Um, but God wants us to know in Psalm 51:12, where it says, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me." Um, that's what David prayed when he felt his joy slipping. So that is what we have to remember today. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. Um, that is what I'm going to walk away with this verse. Again, Psalm 51:12. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. It's really hard in every sense of the word. Charlie was someone that I felt the world had hope. That he was convincing, changing people's mind, changing the world's mind for the younger generation, because our future, it's younger kids, our younger people. Excuse me. And that's what Charlie was for me, a hope. But God, I am very thankful that you gave Charlie to us in a very short period of time, 31 years old. That's just baffling. At 31 years old, for 31 years, from the moment he started doing this, I believe 18, I'm not sure. Let me see. He started, I'm trying to find his information, but so he started his public political activist career when he when he found a turning point of the USA in June 2012 while he was still in college. This is 2012. Wow, he started there. Till right now, um, this is crazy. So Charlie started this in 2012, and right now is September 2025. He started for about 10 years, 13 years. He's been doing this just very little time, but an amazing, smart person. Oh, when I found this out, when my husband told me, sorry that my video or my live, it's all over the place. That's how I feel right now. And I am trying to get it together also because life goes on and I'm still a mother and I'm still a wife. And my daughter has a gay, so my mind needs to be here. But my heart is definitely with Charlie's family, with the wife, with his two young kids, very, very, very young. But I, I I I just got on my knees. I got on my knees and I said, Charlie, I know that you're in that time of seeing all the great things that you did in the world. And I want to say thank you first, God, for giving us Charlie, for the time that he gave us, for this incredible human being that you created and that you guided through the world. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you because he gave us a voice to the voiceless. He gave us courages. He gave us courage for me, to many young people as well. He gave us all that, and I'm very, very, very grateful. And I said, although I have never met you in person, I want you to know that you made a difference to me. And although you will never know about me, well, as of right now, because I believe her soul was around. He's able to see everything, everyone that is praying for him. I said, I want to say thank you. You made a difference. You changed the world. You did what God said you would do. You should do. And it hurt because he was a great man. And although he did not share what everyone else shared, he has his own mentality. He's still a human being. You see TikTok, you see Instagram, people celebrating his death. I didn't care if a person was a Democrat, a liberal, or whatever you want to name it. Where it is, you as a human being. And Charlie showed us that you can have a different perspective on how he thinks. You can have a different, ideology, whatever different, you can have it. But at the end of the day, we have to be okay with sitting down and having a cup of coffee and being friends, because that is who God created us. Like, we're all brothers and sisters. And it felt like a brother truly left. So it's taken me a while, especially with seeing the video of him dying. It was just horrible. Horrible, horrible. I mean, I saw the video when he gets shot in the neck, his shoulders go up and he goes sideways. You can immediately see when his soul left his body. It was like a switch, like lights off, lights on. And I say lights off and lights on. The reason I don't say it the other way, because in this world is where we suffer. In this world is where we have joy and we have suffering. In this world is where our body aches, and we feel disappointments and things like that. In the other world, it's a happy world. There's no pain. It's where God tells us that we get a new body, from where the Bible says. Let me pull it up because I definitely like to first get the confirmation that this is what it says. I know it says that, but on 1 Corinthians 15 42 44, it says, so we'll be with the resurrection of the dead. The body that is sworn in per. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to find the exact. Um, so it says 1 Corinthians 15:42. The body will bury is weak, but God raises a new and strong. Um, in Philippians 3:21, let's see. Philippians 3:20-21 says, but our citizenship is in heaven, and we eagerly await a Savior from there, the Lord Jesus Christ, who by the power that enables him to bring everything under his control would transform our lowly bodies so that we will be like his glorious body. It pretty much says Jesus will change our weak bodies into glorious body like his. And that is what happened with Charlie. This is really hard, you guys. I don't know what we have come down to, that we cannot have different opinions. We have come to that point of killing one another because we think differently. And yeah, it does tend to put fear on people sometimes, but I'm not going to put a fear on me. And I feel like whoever did this, if they thought that they shut us up, that they quiet our mouth, that we're not going to do anything, you just actually made Charlie's case a lot more stronger than what it was before. You definitely did that. People, yes, R.I.P. Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Sorry, hi, Brooks. Um, People are going to rise from this. People are going to be angry at what happened because clear that we're being under attack. The Christians are being under attack. That this year it's been proven. I mean, we go from, what happened a couple of weeks ago, I believe, with the church, those kids that died. Um, it's just like above and beyond horrible what happened there too. And then, we're seeing now, somebody on the bus that on August 22nd got murdered by somebody else. And then we're seeing Charlie died. It's just like, it hurts. It really, really hurts. And like I said, you don't have to physically know Charlie to hurt. Just his following him, seeing his channel, seeing how, how he talked about the future, it gives you hope. It gave me hope as a mother for my kid. And it's really sad. Charlie has a new body, which God promised us. Sorry, he promised us a new body, and that's what he did for him. So I'm gonna keep praying. I'm a believer that the soul wanders around. I don't know for how many times. I don't know how God makes it work, but I know God is going to show Charlie all the good thing that he's done. And if Charlie gets to see my prayers, someone that he never met, to know how much of a difference he made for somebody's life, I want to say thank you to him. Another thing that I just makes me really sad also is seeing people out there celebrating his death. I don't care, like I said, I don't care what you believe. I don't care, you love the gays. I don't care if you're okay with the transgenders and kids being, taking out their private parts. Young kids being taken away from their house because they want to transition and the parents are not okay with it. And then they get to be taken away from their. I don't care if you believe in that. No one should deserve to die the way he did or at all for you thinking differently than I do. I've said it many times. My neighbor thinks differently. He's Democrat. He's a very much believer in a lot of things of Biden, what he said. He voted for blue for Biden. I voted for Trump. He voted for Kamala. Trump. Um, but I'm not going to sit there and turn my eyes away from him if he ever needs me. I bring out his trash bins closer to his backyard. If he needs something from my husband is there to help him out. When the freeze happened here in Texas, uh, our thoughts were about him and his wife. He's older. They're an older couple. We went and told them, hey, come, we're making food, we're making coffee, because I know they didn't have light. I know we had it tough that freeze. And my other neighbor next to us, he gave us something to be able to cook because we didn't have anything, y'all. We did not have anything. And we were freaking out because we have a kid and we have to eat and there was no light. We weren't prepared for that. And our neighbors next to us were not either. But our neighbors to our left gave us something and we were able to share with them. We didn't care what their beliefs were. We care they're human beings because that is what God wants us to see, that you can have a different opinion, you can be different. In His eyes, we're all the same. So who are we to go and judge and get mad at someone and be mean and be hurt them that way? What gives you the right to do that? It doesn't give you no right. It doesn't. If you don't like my beliefs, respect them. We can be friends. I don't care. I'm not going to be mad at you and go and burn your house or murder somebody. It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. You know, the the devil the devil really got this one. But at the end of the day, I believe it's last word, and God is going to be the one to rise people to what Charlie cause was, because he was the seed to put something here in the world. He was that seed, and he is he's gonna look down to us, wherever he's at, down whatever world he's in right now in heaven, and he's gonna see how much greatness he's done. I'm very much hopeful that his kids get to follow along on his footsteps. I know his wife, based on what I've seen videos, I don't know his wife personally, but based on the videos I've seen about her, she believes as much as what he believes. And she is going to put that in her kids' heart. And his kids are probably going to be the next people that, you know, bring along that legacy and helps the world to even be much stronger. And they're going to see the greatness that their dad did, what he started. I know President Trump gave a speech. I think it was a thing that Trump was the one to announce that he had passed away. Uh, you know, let's remember, Revelation 21:4, it says he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Um, this is what Charlie has right now. He has no more crying, no more mourning, no more pain. And this is just insane, insane. It's something that I thought it was always great about Charlie. Like I said, it was talking about God and having people to be open to not having people to not be afraid of speaking about him. And I thought that was pretty cool. He had a drive that I have never seen before as a younger person. He had a belief very, very, very strong. And he always wanted to be known as the person that walked with Jesus. He wanted to be recognized for loving God. And he would always be that person to me. I definitely, it's someone that I want my daughter to look up to. Yes, not all his beliefs were amazing. A lot of them to me were. Some of them were a little bit like, but I still followed him. I still followed him. There's people even from the Democrat side that I might not believe in what they say, but I still like what they're saying. They're very honest with their answers. So that's what I look for when I, look for people on YouTube. And like I said, we don't all have to agree to what I believe. Like, you don't have to agree that there is a God, but that don't mean that I'm going to go and burn your house because you're not believing that there is a God. So I just hope that this pretty much helps us to see that we need to be okay with having different beliefs. We need to be okay with that. We need to respect one another. I don't know what the consequences are. I don't know what the greatness will come from this. Um, from this whole situation. I don't know how the world is going to see this. Uh, I know it's going to change a lot of us, and I know it's changing a lot of us as it is. Um, it's just crazy. A few quotes that actually I have seen. Let me see, and I had actually read these quotes before of him and what he thought. Um, Let me see if I can pull him up. But I thought he was also a funny guy. The way he did his discussions every time he will go to church, it was in a very respectful way. Um, it's one thing that I thought it was pretty interesting. It's that looking at my lives and looking about people, what they're saying of Charlie, there was a gentleman who said that he doesn't care that Charlie died because he said horrible things about Floyd. Um, how Floyd was a drug addict and all this, so he really can care less that Charlie died. That baffles me because that says so much about that man, to be honest with you. Not if they are. What do you mean by that, soldier? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You know, it's it's when I heard this man saying that it's he can care less for Charlie dying because of what Charlie believed. It just baffled me because it's as a human being, just alone as a human being, you have to understand that someone dying the way, especially how he did, it's horrific. It's a video that is going to be there on on the internet for forever, and his kids are going to get to see it. His wife is going to get to see it. It's just, as a human being, it doesn't matter what he believed at the end of the day. It doesn't matter that he didn't like Floyd. It doesn't matter that he's a human being. And I feel like sometimes when something bad happens to us, we get mad at someone for not understanding why we feel bad, right? And we immediately jump into judging, and that person did not understand me. And that is what people are doing right now. They're finding a reason to hate Charlie and be happy for his death. Charlie is doing amazing now. He's in heaven. He's not hurting. He is extremely in an amazing place with God. It's ugly that that person who I saw the video was saying nasty things about Charlie. It's still here in this world suffering. So at the end of the day, Charlie had the last laugh because he's an amazing world. He has no hate in his heart right now. But this person that's saying horrible things about Charlie and being happy, him being gone, it's here in this world where a lot of bad things happen. So it's like, wait, who has the last laugh at the end of the day? It was Charlie, because he left a legacy. He left a legacy. He left groups of people willing to fight for what he believes. I feel like he started something, and we're only going to see it grow. We're really going to see it grow. I think in the next few days, and the next few weeks, and the next few months, we're going to see a new growth, a new world. And this is going to be all the results of what Charlie did for us, what he did. So if anyone thought that, killing Charlie was going to have us be afraid, and it was going to be a moment to like us to back away, and no, you had just actually made a lot of people more angry, and people are going to come out more, and they're going to fight for what he believed, because he was a voice to many of us. You said beliefs don't matter, but yes, it does. Beliefs rooted in. I said beliefs. Oh, I am sorry. I did not mean to say beliefs do not matter. To me, what people believe is that what I'm saying, my beliefs don't matter in the sense that what I'm trying to explain here is that I don't care what your beliefs are. Don't matter to me. At the end of the day, you're a human being. If you believe different than what I do, if you know, if you believe in God or if you don't believe in God and I believe in God, I don't care what you believe on. At the end of the day, you're still a human being, and I'm still going to help anyone out. And that's what Charlie left us behind, is that we need to be okay with, the fact that your beliefs are different than mine. At the end of the day, let's have a cup of coffee. We should be, and that's it. We shouldn't just turn away because ultimately you don't believe in, or you believe in gay marriages and I don't. We need to be okay with that. Who cares what you believe? We can have a discussion, we can have a conversation. The world, it's amazing because we all think differently. And we should be okay with that. We should not be going murdering somebody because they do not agree with me. Oh, yes, no problem. Yeah, I know. It's just I'm a little bit off still with this whole Charlie situation. It's a soldier that a lot of us cannot just have a different opinion. I have done many lives when someone will come in and I have marriage. Not very much into the whole getting deeper into the topic, but I have seen people jump in and saying, you're judging us because of your Bible. No, I'm not saying you're horrible, get out of here, and I'm blocking you. I'm welcoming people to have a conversation, and I believe in what the Bible says. Do I need to have every detail on why? No, just my God says no, and then that's it. That's enough for me. It's like a parent. When I tell my kid no, it's no. I don't have to tell her so many why. She needs to understand it that no is no, period. That is how I believe my God is to me. If my God says no, then it's a no. That's it. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to keep going. But I'm respectful to other people. And I have had people being nasty to me. And at the end of the day, I'm still welcoming them. I'm still allowing them to have their voice and say what they want to say. So I'm not going to go and block people because of what they believe. No, then they would disagree with me. I want to be able to grow. I want to see what other people have to say. That is what Charlie was doing. He was trying to get to know people's view because he was trying to learn something. And I thought that was pretty good. And that's what caught my attention from him. The fact that, he believed in God strongly. And also the fact that he brought a lot of different opinions into the table. He went to many colleges because he was smart. He knew that that's where he needed to get the attention of young people. He was in my little brother's college, a university in San Diego, and he loved the dude. Well, I think he liked the dude. I'm not sure if he loved the dude because I'm still trying to understand my brother's perspective on life. But it didn't have to come down to that. And I'm not sure how things are going to change from now on, and I'm very much hopeful that things will change for the better, and they will. And it definitely will. He was, I also saw people saying that he deserved to die because he was a Trump supporter. It doesn't matter whether he was a Trump supporter, whether he was a conservative, whether he just didn't wear the best clothes. It doesn't matter. You guys are really, really losing your train of thought. You're really losing your focus. The focus is that a person who disagreed with a lot of people and had his own opinion had to get murdered. No, that's not okay. I don't care what side. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care whatever. You do not deserve to take the life away of somebody else just because you felt that person was dividing us or that person was not agreeing with you. I think that it was a threat. It was a threat. The devil felt threatened by Charlie and took Charlie. But little did the devil know that he just created a whole stronger world of, soldiers. I want to say more soldiers of God, because that's what Charlie was. He was a soldier. And he created a lot more soldiers who are gonna stand up, and we're gonna just be stronger than ever. Like I said, this is a very sad situation, but it really makes you stronger. It really makes you see things much differently. So where are you guys? What do you guys do? Your opinion with everything that's going on? I want to know you guys' opinion in regards to, the loss of Charlie. How are you going to do things differently? One thing that I quote that I loved about JF Kennedy, it says it's not about what the world could do for you. It's not about what the country can do for you. It's about what you can do for your country. Something like that. So if you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, what So yeah, me if I got, I'm sure I got that one wrong, but let me read it carefully. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. That right there, not like word by word, I remember it, but some of it, I know what he's trying to say. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. That is what I always felt like. It's not about what the country can do for you. It's what I am willing to do for my country. I love this country. I love the United States. A lot of people criticize it, say that we're evil, we're the most evil country, but we have to love where we are. If you don't, I'm sorry, then this is not the country for you. I am sure there's many other ones that might qualify, of what you want and what you expect. Move to those countries. Definitely move to those countries. I love my country. My parents, made the effort of coming here. They sacrificed a lot as, immigrants. They were they were here, be able to be here for a long time, and then they applied for their residency, which eventually happened under. It was, I don't know what the word is. Sorry, my brain is a little bit off today, but under Reagan, I believe it's under Reagan, the amnesty. This happened in 1986. President Ronald Reagan signed an Immigration Reform and Control Act. This law gave amnesty legal status to about 3 million undocumented immigrants who had been living in the USA since before 1982. Reagan believed it was a one-time fix, amnesty now, but the stronger border securities and penalties of employers who hired undocumented workers. His view was, I believe in the idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and lived here, even though they may have entered illegally. My parents entered legally when they came here, but they were able to get an amnesty because they had been living here for quite some time before that. So, they work really hard. My dad worked 3 jobs, 2 to 3 jobs at a time. We hardly saw him, but my mother made the sacrifice of staying at home and taking care of her kids and just literally just at home 24/7. If it wasn't to the laundry room, it was to, the store, and the store, then she would come home, take care of us. That's what she did every single day of her life. So I do think it was a sacrifice. And she was only 21 years old when 20 or 21 when she first came here. I guess you could say. Oh, really? Okay. It's very sad. Yeah, I feel so off, and yesterday when my husband gave that news, it was just I think I didn't know what to do. Oh, thank you so much, Soldier. Appreciate it. Thank you. I was just baffled. When he first told me, like I said, It was one of his buddy who had announced it in a chat group that he had. I'm not sure if the gentleman that told him was there at the rally. But I looked, my husband called me, I got into YouTube immediately, and there was nothing about it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So for like a split second, I thought, soldier, I thought that maybe it was not true. It was, it was a clickbait, or, those rumors that people tend to make about somebody dying and they're not true. But then I refreshed my screen, or maybe like 4 or 5 seconds later, video started jumping in about his death and, Charlie dying. Then they said it was in the chest, and said it was in the neck. And then they were, started making comments that he was just in critical condition. And I got to my knees and I started praying, God, please allow this man to come back to the world. Please allow this man to live so he can prove to whoever tried to stop him that he's unstoppable, that only God can stop him. But unfortunately, once I saw the video of him being shot, which I don't know if any of y'all have seen the video. If you have not, please do not go and see it. It's literally traumatizing. I would have not seen his video, you guys. I wish I would have never seen the video of him dying, because it's really traumatizing. So don't go and look for it. Or, I mean, if it's hard for you as it is, it's going to be even harder for you to see this. So don't. I suggest you really don't. Once I saw the video, you can see his shoulders go up, it hit the neck, and then you see the gush amount of blood coming out of his neck. It's literally like opening a faucet of water and just blood coming out. When I saw that, my whole body went into stress mode. My bones started hurting. I felt horrible, sick to my stomach. So like I said, if you have not seen his video, I suggest you don't go and look for his video. It's traumatizing. It's really real. I have seen people say that they regret wish they would have never have seen his video, because it's just has hurt them. Actually, they're hurting a lot more than before they saw the video. So please don't go see his video. But yeah, and I just started praying to God, and I started saying thank you to Charlie for all the great things that he's done. It hurts, y'all, because although you don't know this man, you really feel a connection with him. So I saw it. They sent it to me yesterday. I think it was about a couple of hours later. I got it on Instagram. Instagram now deleted the video, which I'm very grateful for. But there were so many videos on Instagram about his death and exact like how he died. Really, really, it was just if before it broke me the news, watching that video, it broke me even more. But I just went on my knees and I started praying to God, and I started saying thank you first to God for allowing us to get to know through the videos of such an amazing man who had, strong beliefs. He was very respectful when it came to talking, in campuses and getting his message across. And then I just started saying thank you to Charlie. Sorry, you guys, I still get emotional. I started saying thank you to Charlie because I know that he started a great thing in the world. Yes. Well, when you get to see it, so they're just be prepared, be ready, because it's every graphic, the blood coming out. It's not like it drew getting into the shirt. It's a chunk of the amount of blood that comes out. It's very, very graphic. It's very, very violent. But I'm thankful. I've been seeing people saying, "Why did God allow this to happen?" But we can't see it that way because the enemy also rules this world, and ultimately, it's going to be God's last word because Charlie, he created soldiers. Charlie was a soldier of God, and he created more soldiers. And from his death, we are going to see a lot of people rising up, speaking about God, fighting for whatever rest Charlie could not do while here in this, he will not be able to do anymore now that he's gone. So people are going to get angry and they're going to speak up. they're going to speak up. I know they will. Yes. Well, just if you want to keep looking for it, just soldier, just be ready for that. And like I said, Charlie made people angry, but our anger is not to be physical. We are not going to hurt one another. We are not going to be what the wants us to be, which is kill one another, hurt one another. It's not even about whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. This is a human being at the end of the day. No one deserves to go the way he did. No one deserves to die for what they believe. No one does. So respect one another. My neighbors, they're Democrats, and we have been there for them many times, like they have been there for us. When the freeze happened here in Texas, we didn't care that they were blue. We offered coffee, we gave them breakfast. That is what Charlie's left us behind. That we should be okay to have different types of views. You can have one belief, I can have another belief. Hey, at the end of the day, let's sit down and have a cup of coffee. We can talk about it, or we cannot talk about it, but I'm still going to be your friend. He met people, a lot of people that did not agree with his ideology on Christianity, Catholics that, did not agree the Charlie felt about Catholic people, but he still loved them. He still had conversations with them. He still had debate with them. He still had dinner with them. That is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be killing one another for our beliefs. What kind of world is this? This is our country. We need to love our country. We need to love our people. We need to be okay with our different perspective in life. Just I don't agree with, same-sex marriage doesn't mean that I'm going to go and hurt somebody who is in a same-sex marriage. They need help, I'm going to be there. They need a plate of food, I am going to give them a plate of food. They need water, I'm going to give them water. Why? Because under God's eyes, we are all the same. He doesn't see whether you're blue, whether you're red, or if you're blue, do you believe in this? And if you're red, you believe in see that. The way he died was horrific. For sharing his ideas, it was horrible. He also had perpetrator. They actually so there's videos, and from the last update. I don't know if y'all have any other updates, but so right now, y'all, there's an update that they found the video where it looks the shooter going up the stairs inside the building, climbing the on the roof on top of the building, shooting, and then jumping off to another, leaving the scene. So they know the shooter. They're trying to use computers and things like that to try to recognize his face as much as they can. And they're asking, there's also video of him running into a community where they're asking people if they have any videos in regards to that to kind of get a more clear idea of his face. So they have the video of him the shooter arriving to the location, and then they have the shooter also fleeing the scene. There's videos, there's even a picture, I believe, where you can see exactly on top of the roof, somebody is saying like, there's someone on top of the roof over there, and they just kind of disregard the whole idea. But there's videos of that. So more things are coming out right now. They don't have nobody in custody. I don't know if as of right now, but when I checked, they did not. Okay, thank you. Says he left a very large digital trail, so it's just a matter of time. Yes, it's just a matter of time. I know, to me personally, Trump loved Charlie, and he is going to work very hard to get the person who did it and us to find out who did it. I think it's important. Would that make it any better? Yes, it does, because this man needs to have the consequences of what his actions were. This is unbelievable. It feels like if it was a family member that was taken from us. So they're still going with, they're stating that they're not releasing any videos right now because they want to make sure that they have all the information that they can of the person. But as of right now, they're not releasing any videos. So that's all what they have at the moment. Sorry, you guys, my thing fell off. Okay. I think y'all can hear me. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me. But as of right now, they don't have of the guy who did this. We don't know if there's a goal. We don't know if there's other people behind this, which most likely there is. But I want to jump into any allegations as of right now. But this is just going to be a pretty interesting way of how things are going to unfold. What I'm more into and wanted to see is how people are going to react to, the death, the passing, and what they're going to be standing up for, and what they're going to be, doing on his behalf, completing the mission, or even more of a mission that Charlie cannot, because he was taken away from us way too soon, way too soon. So please, if y'all can let me know, where were you guys at? What were you guys doing when y'all found out about his death? Let me know. Share with me. How are you guys doing? I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot with Charlie being gone. So I am here. It's a lot to digest. Like I said, I never knew Charlie physically, but his videos to me touch my heart. His belief, a lot of different beliefs were out there that I was just like a little bit in question, but that did not stop me from following him. That did not stop me from supporting him in every way, because that is what life is about, right? You have an opinion, I have an opinion. It's we get to learn from that. We definitely get to learn from that. So yeah, so if y'all can please just, hit the likes button if y'all can, and subscribe. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of more videos. His death really inspired me to not be quiet, have a voice, and keep going, because that is what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to be afraid of the situation, overthink it, don't do anything, don't fight, the battles. Just stay quiet and be afraid. And that's not what Charlie left us behind as a lesson for us to learn. He's leaving us behind to fight for what we believe, to keep going, to keep working hard. Smile, truthfully, when he would smile, it was, to me, it was very contagious. He was a really funny guy as well. And, when there's a video of him, somebody is asking him about, how do you think about, men when they take out a woman in a date, should the man pay? And the Charlie said yes, 100%. Why does a woman have to pay for a date? It needs to be a man paying for the date. And he got attacked by the men on the man's side. They were just like, no, because women are so ungrateful, women this, women that. And the women were actually the ones supporting him a lot more, which it was pretty rare to see. Men were supporting Charlie before, more than women do. But in this situation, he had a lot of women support. He even had my support, because I agree on that. That is what you get to see. A man is a provider. That's what we look for. At the end of the day, a woman looks for that, for a man who is a provider. And that is what Charlie was saying. Yes, Kevin, right? I didn't know him either. So it was really, it took a toll on me all day. I couldn't think straight. Under God's eyes, we're all brothers and sisters, and it felt like I lost a brother. Um, so we all have to, honor him, and just whoever wants to keep on to his legacy, you're more than welcome. This is an amazing time to do that, because we're not going to stay quiet. We're not going to stay quiet. We should not be, you know, just killed because we don't believe what a lot of the world believes. We don't all have to have one opinion. We don't. I can believe in one thing and you can believe in another one, and that should be extremely okay. We are in some very dark times right now. This can be a tipping point. Yes, this right here, what just happened to Charlie, can be a really big tipping point. That's why I said, to me, it's more interesting to see the ripple effect that is going to have with Charlie dying. The way he died, it is going to have a really big ripple effect. So to me, that is what's more important, that I want to see. I hope and pray it's for good. But they took someone away from us that had a big voice and it had a big platform and was just doing amazing things. At the end of the day, was just doing amazing things. Um, Soldier, I randomly found out about it on TikTok like today's late and sad, but I am not sure. Yes, a lot of people that we're not following him as much, and I get it. A lot of non-conservative are not aware of him. My mother actually just found out about it no, today. So I had to kind of give her a little bit more idea about him, and we walked through the whole videos and what he believed. And as we were going, she was just in pain as well. Someone that she did not follow as much, but once I got to tell her about his beliefs and some of his debates. We saw some of his debates. She was just taken back, and it really just, it hurt her heart also. Kevin, he helps so much. Um, yes, yes, and this is true. And this, I was looking forward to his lectures all the time because I have a kiddo who is, doing high school and college, and I needed voices like him to be able to give my daughter hope that it's okay in a way, right? Society now tells us that there's only one way thinking, and that if you thought differently, then you are the weird one. So to me, I kept telling her, you're going to be that weird one that is going to think differently. And this is what Charlie had, right? This is where he was trying to tell us it's okay to think this way. It's okay if you believe in God. It's okay if you want to learn new things. It's okay. His whole being, his speech, the hope that he was giving to young people is what I wanted more for my daughter, because we were losing that. Colleges were more into, let's fight for, Pakistan, let's do this, let's do that. And and that took away on what really society is about, what our country is about. And Charlie had that idea that I wanted my kiddo to learn about that opinion. So to me, knowing that his voice is gone is it's really, really hard. Um, Soldier, I can only imagine his family. Yes, I thought that too, right? The fact that the video is going to be put out there and is probably going to be in a page where people are going to be seeing it a lot, thinking that that his kids one day will see this video, or his wife probably seen this video so many times. It really hurts, the idea of, as a wife, right? Like knowing that the last time he brushed his hair on this side, or she's gonna go home and he's not gonna be there, or there's no more dinners together. Oh, sorry. I think of all her last moments, like that she's gonna be thinking of him, and that's really hard. You don't have to physically know someone to understand that idea of how painful it is. Um, Yes, Chris, you're so right. He bright a lot of people's mind. I know people, for my younger brother, I know that his people, he's going to college in California, and Charlie went to his campus, and he was able to see the way he thought, and they liked him. They really did. So they gave them hope for the world. They really got them to be even more involved with the government and wanting to know about what's going on here. Charlie opened younger people's mind, and that was just amazing to see that. Like I said, he was giving hope to the younger people, and that was important. And unfortunately, the devil took something from us, but Charlie's voice stays behind. God created Charlie to give us hope. He planted a seed in the world, and that seed it's going to grow even more. I know He will. Casey, and one thing is that, like, hate shouldn't be, you don't like something, you don't have to like it. It's okay. But to go and kill someone for having a different perspective, then that's a whole different ball game. And that's the part that I was just, wait, where are we coming to? What is this world coming to? What is our country coming to? Um, we are going to, Charlie helped her to understand what she's, yeah, exactly. You see, Kevin, that's exactly like the world was teaching my kid that she was going to be a weird one for thinking, that it's okay, her beliefs, that it's okay to believe in God, it's okay to believe in marriage, that it's important to be married, it's important to wait, like all these things. And her school or herself, people were calling her weird, and she was feeling weird and out of place. And she would always come home and tell me, Mom, I feel like I don't belong. And I told her one day, You don't belong in that school because of the way they're thinking. And that's what Charlie was here to tell the new generation. You are amazing. You're not, keep believing in what you believe, strong about it. Do not change your mind. That is how wonderful he was. And that's just really, really hard. Pre-recorded. Uncle Ruckus, I think it's Uncle Ruckus. Yes. I believe the live is gonna show later on, so I believe you can see it again. You guys don't forget to hit the like button, show some support, subscribe. I'm definitely gonna be one of those persons that, because of what Charlie did, we have to keep going. We have a job to do, and I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. I don't know how I'm going to change my style. I don't know how things are going to change, but Charlie could not finish his mission. We need to finish his mission. We need to be okay with every single one of us having a different thought. I mean, for goodness sake, this man died for what he believed. And it's a risk. I mean, even Jesus told his followers that they will suffer for believing in him. And I know that Charlie knew that, and it cost him his life, and his family are gonna stand strong. I know it's really, it's really, I can only imagine, or maybe I cannot imagine what this woman is going through. But it's definitely gonna be hard. Little does she know of how much difference she made for a lot of people. For me, for people to not know him, for my daughter's life, it's someone that I want my kid to be able to get to know his belief, his thoughts, his books, his teaching, so she can feel strong of growing up. She can have a strong knowledge, definitely, of life. I can only imagine what they're going to say about his mental health too, the guy that killed Charlie. Yes, everyday carry, people who are out of touch with reality were threatened by Charlie's Kirk. Yes, believes. I feel like, to me, whoever had a thought about hurting him or has made a threat or a horrible comment on his videos, it's just pretty much, it has to be an insecure person. And they felt the devil knew that he had a strong voice and that he can change more people, so he took Charlie. He really took Charlie. But little does he know, like I said, that Charlie planted a seed in this world for all of us to grow even stronger. So it's amazing, and I'm definitely honored to have seen videos of him and to have had him in the little time that I have gotten to know his content. Like I said, he started this, I believe, in 2012. He had been doing this about 13 years. But he started this during college. I wish I would have discovered him even way before. But I believe he wrote books, and I'm gonna purchase those books, and I'm gonna have my kid learn about it, because she is going to be different, and I want her to be able to speak up the truth, to do research, not to just wait for somebody to tell her something and her go by it. No, whether it's from whatever side, the left or the right, I want her to have her own research and do her own research. Off topic, but do you know about Ronnie? Saw his footage from what he described. The video is just a brutal as. No, I do not, Soldier. I believe, I don't know, maybe Everyday Carrie, do you know about it? Kevin Samora, you go. Big shoes to fill, but we need someone to do that. He was such a great speaker. He really was an amazing speaker. I mean, he truly inspired a lot of people, and I know, I'm telling you, Kevin, this is going to be a ripple effect for the better. I'm very much hopeful and prayerful that it's for the better. people are going to come back and they're going to want to follow in his footsteps. Yes, big shoes to fill. But like I said, Charlie was a warrior of God, a soldier of God, and Charlie left build a whole army even stronger to keep fighting for what he believed, to keep giving a voice to people that are not able to have a voice and speak and fight like the way he did. He definitely will and has created that and will keep creating that. But I want people to know, how do you feel? How are you doing? I know this is really hard to digest. It's been 24 hours and I'm still like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe we lost a very good influence, younger generation. I've seen videos of people saying that they're happy that he died. That is just very sad. Like I said, I don't care who you are. It's never a good thing for someone to kill you. Um, and you see people celebrating on TikTok, being happy that he died, saying, "Great news, y'all! Charlie Kirk died," and this and that. And it's like, really? Like, do we really have to come down to that, to celebrating somebody's death? But I bet you if it would have been happening to them, that's not okay, right? And that's not, it's really different with the message that Charlie had given us. No one deserves to die the way he did. No child deserves to grow up without a father because he thought differently than anyone else. A wife did not deserve to lose her husband because he thought differently. It's a communication. I mean, I can have my own ideas. You can have your own ideas. That is okay. Yes. Oh, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's I want people to talk here, whether you liked him or not. Share with me, what did you not like of his opinions? What was your best moment? Did you ever get the chance to meet him when you saw his videos? What did you learn from that? What are the lessons that Charlie leaves you behind? Yes, let's do that. What are the lessons that Charlie leaves you behind? What is the legacy, that his legacy, that you were able to learn, that you are going to try to follow? You don't have to open a YouTube to follow his legacy. You can simply just, one of his legacy was to get along with one another and be respectful for what we believe. That was one of his legacies, and that's what we should be doing. We should definitely be doing that. So it's hard, and I definitely understand. Like I said, I was in shock. Cannot believe what was going on. I thought it was a joke at first, and then as time went by and you see the video, you know immediately it was only by the grace of God, if at that point, if he was going to make it or not. You can even see when his soul leaves his body. Like I said earlier, I feel like the way he left this world, it was like lights were off and then lights were on. And the reason I say the other way, lights off, because in this world we suffer. We know what pain is. In heaven and where God is, where he believed in, he would always speak about it. It's heaven where you don't hurt. You have any body, you have any skin. His life was off when he was in this world, and his lights got turned on when he got to heaven. And Jesus got the chance to, teach him all the great things that he did in this world, and how much of a difference he made to people that were either on his college campuses looking in on his debates, or were not in his college campuses. I mean, the videos that he did literally move you. They move you. It's definitely someone that I want my kid to read about, to know about, because we are going to be knowing a lot about Charlie for a long, long, long time. He got shot in his head. Oh, got a got filter. No, he got shot on his neck. I believe somewhere right here below the neck. I'm not sure where, but it was on his neck. And that's what we have been, told so far, that the shot came to his neck. He was working for God, and he was a good man. Yes, he was definitely working for God, and that's why I said he was. Um, Kevin, he was a warrior. He was a soldier, and under under Charlie, he created more soldiers. Soldiers were being created while he was alive, and these soldiers are going to rise now that he's gone. People are going to see that. People are going to see that. And we need to look into this incident as a lesson for us to learn. To reevaluate the life that we have right now. That hate can just really make you feel that you can take someone's life away. That is not okay. It's not okay. Can't think of anything I've seen on this. Yeah, no, I'm talking about, oh, I'm gonna look it up. I have not seen it, Soldier. I'm definitely gonna look it up. But this is a really sad moment. I know I've been seeing videos of people sharing the same idea that although they have not met him, um, it's just been really hard for them to grasp the idea of him being gone. So if you're going through it, I just want you to know that we at this point we can only just keep on with this legacy, keep his name alive, keep praying for his family, y'all. His family are really suffering, especially his wife. Like I said, knowing that he's not coming home, knowing that it's gonna be really really challenging. Someone once told me when they lost a family member that the hardest moments, one of the hardest moments in life, it was going to be the first to everything. Your first Thursday without him, your first Friday, your first Saturday, your first Sunday, and then your first week, first month, all the way up to a year. Those are going to be the hardest. And I definitely believe that his kids are not going to be able to meet that great man that he is. Um, I think empathy. It does. You know, Thank you for sharing that, Orange. I truly, truly very thankful. Uh, if anyone else can please share a quote, something that you have learned about Charlie, put it here. We'll definitely would love to hear it and read it. But how did Charlie change your life? Also, let me know that. What are your best moments about him? Have you ever met him? Did you ever meet him? Did you ever go to one of his colleges? Debates. I would have loved to have gone to one of them. I never got the chance to, but I never heard of any of them being done around here in Texas. Probably he will, for sure he did. But yeah, so it's an incredible, incredible story. I don't know how how to move forward, but we all have to move forward from here, and we all have to, like I said, follow what he did. Follow what he did. Um, and be okay with one another having a different opinion. I don't know when this world thought it was okay to take someone else's life because they thought differently. That's just baffling. I done my lives, I done my videos. I have had Muslims not agreeing with my idea of my religion. I'm not going to go there and delete their comments and just only accept those that believe in what I believe. No, I want that different idea. I want that different perspective because I like to learn. And if someone else doesn't know and I can teach them something, then awesome. Or if I learn something great, awesome as well. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be angry at someone for not thinking the way I do and just, erase them. It doesn't. It really doesn't. If anyone has heard an update, please let me know. I know as of 30 minutes ago, over an hour ago, I just knew that they had footage of the shooter entering the building and, getting into the roof and then leaving the scene as well. So if y'all know, please let me know. But yeah, if y'all have anything to share with me about, your best quotes with Charlie, let me know. I would definitely would love to hear that. But yeah, so it's just been very difficult. It's been very challenging, to see the videos and again, the news. I'm very grateful that every single person is talking about Charlie's death, sharing their ideas, sharing their moments. Some people sharing pictures that they have taken with him. I think that is that is really good to see, that we're keeping his name alive and we're keeping his memory alive. Like I said, y'all, the way that he is to take someone else's life, that's a different level. To me, you can dislike me for what I believe. I'm not going to sit here and cry. Tell me why. I'd love to, but if you don't want to, then I'm okay with that. But to take someone else's life because of that, that is an unreal, whole different level of ugliness, a whole different level. And I know that right now we're trying to determine, was it the right? I mean, was it the left? You hear so many conspiracy, up to the time that I don't know who told, I read somewhere where it says that, um, Trump, no, no, the Israel sent him to get killed because he has started, talking about the Middle East or something like that. I mean, if we're gonna sit here and start pointing fingers of who did it, this is definitely not the time for that. It's definitely not the time for that. Find out who did it, yes, but not the time for conspiracy. It's the time for prayer, to pray for the family of Charlie. That is extremely important, for his kids, for his wife. Like I said, I cannot even imagine how his wife is feeling. I know that his body left already the hospital, and it's on its way to be with his family. So this is a very hard moment, y'all. I can see it on Facebook, people saying that they care less. There was actually a gentleman, and I did not get his name. I wish I could have. He's saying he doesn't care about him dying because he did not agree. He said horrible things about Floyd, that he was a drug addict and all this, so he can care less because he spoke, bad about a black brother. Um, Ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all under God's eyes, we're all the same. And you can't say you love God and actually not wish, but actually be, not have no feelings to dying and saying pretty much I care less because they agreed with this one opinion. That just says a lot about you, and that actually proves a point on what Charlie was saying, that that there's a lot of ugliness and evil out there. And for you to say that, and if this person ever comes across my video, I just want you to know that I feel so bad for you, because you have to ugly heart inside of you to think that it's okay, or to say I can care less that Charlie died because he was against a brother of, Floyd. He was against, I guess he just did not agree with the way Charlie felt about Floyd death, so he can care less Charlie dead. And then he just went on about saying horrible things. I will pray for you, brother. I will pray for you, because you have to have an ugly, ugly, ugly soul right now as we speak, for you to feel that it gives you okay to say Charlie. Just because someone does not agree with you, you're going to care less. That is ugly. And God, I pray that you help me to, or anyone in this life, to be able to share their ideas with one another in a most respectful way. That's it. Now Charlie feeling hellfire. What do you mean by that, Abuzer? Now Charlie feeling hellfire. You really think that he's in hell? Sorry, I wanna ask you that. Not in hell. I'll tell you that much. Charlie is with God. Charlie was a God. He was saved. He mainly told every single person out there about God. He was always very confident with his whenever someone would say, "Thank you for changing my life," he would say, "No, brother, it's not me, or no, sister, it wasn't me. It was God who used me." He always said he was a vessel to help people. That is what he was. So anything that it came to credit, it came for God because he knew that God did him to do it. He always said it. "I didn't change your life. God did it. He did. God wanted me to deliver your message." It was always important for everyone, for him, for everyone to know his belief, his strong belief in God. So no, he is not in hell. He will not be in hell. He was saved. He knows he was a sinner and he was saved. And he knows always that from the moment he would wake up to the moment he would go to sleep, it was to serve God. That's 100% the truth. You can see it in many videos. You can hear it in his voice. And as a matter of fact, something that I just found out too is that recently he had started attending the Catholic Church. And I thought that was beautiful. I thought there was a podcast that he did where he said Protestants don't really, don't, I guess they don't give credit a lot more to Mary, because Mary, it's actually the person that it's going to ruin feminism. It's actually a woman who we should be leading by example. And that is who Mary was. And he was talking more about Mary. The religion that truly, we bow down to Mary also is the Catholics. We're not bow, but we pray for her. And and that's what I do. That's what the Catholic community does. I'm Catholic. And I just thought it was interesting that he has started attending more to church in Catholic. And also his wife is Catholic. So I'm sure she had to be praying to God to please change his heart to be able for him to attend the church, the Catholic Church. So definitely. Abuser, I understand what you're saying. I definitely do. This, like I said, and I've been saying all my life, it's not about the points of view at this point. He's a human being. He doesn't not, I feel like you're saying that he deserved to die because he was not having sympathy on the Palestinian children who are dying. You know what? You should go to hell too because you're thinking that way, that you're thinking it's okay for him to have died, that he is burning in hell. That's what we need to. This is the perfect example on you're thinking it's okay for him to die the way he died because of what he has started, what he was doing. It doesn't come down to politics. You really think that when you go to heaven, God is going to ask you, were you a Democrat or were you a Republican? Or did you believe in me or did you not? Or were you for Palestine? And if you said anything wrong, God is going to be like, "Oh, you know what? You're going to go to hell." No, God doesn't see that. God sees Charlie's heart. And seeing his heart, it allows him to be in heaven. Charlie had a good heart. Birth and death comes from God. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know what you stand with that, but I don't agree with that. I really I don't agree with what you're saying that he has no just because of the Palestinian children. There's so much to that. And like I said, it doesn't come down to religion. It comes down that he was a human at the day. You're saying that it's okay that the parents that he died and now his kids are not going to have a parent because of that. That doesn't make it okay, abuser. So I'm really, really going to pray for you. You truly need prayers. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you believe. It matters that he is God's child. And I hope and pray, and I know that God has him in heaven. I really, 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 I really, really do feel that he is in heaven. I don't care what we say. God is bigger. God is greater. And God loves him. And we have seen time to time how much he cared about every single one person to know, every single one of us to know that God is real. That is just, it's baffling. It's really baffling. And like I said, we need to reevaluate what we're doing in our lives, the way we're thinking, because to think that someone is okay to die, it says more about you than anything else. It really does, Abuser. So I'm going to pray for you because you truly need a lot of prayer and you need to change your heart. You truly do. You really do. So, you know, I understand. I definitely understand. But I also, you know, I also know the truth. I really do. Soldier, thank you so much. Yes, it's not okay. It's never okay. So, you know, I want you guys to just keep praying. Please keep praying for Charlie. Keep praying for his family. Know that if someone has a different opinion, for example, Abuzer, thank you. I appreciate you sharing all your, like I said, even though I don't agree, I'm still appreciative for your thoughts. But at the end of the day, this is what Charlie wants us to do, is that we're not going to share the same opinions, but we need to respect one another. So I thank everyone for being respectful in this channel. I'm gonna get out. I have a life to attend to, and I know you want us to just stop living. We have to keep living, and we have to keep doing it for God and for every single one of us. So if there's something that I want you to get from here, it's that God loves you. God doesn't care who you are, doesn't care if you're white, doesn't care if you're black, doesn't care if you're Asian, yellow, whatever, brown, you name it. He doesn't care any of it. He's not going to go ask you what your thoughts were on a specific subject. And if you get it right, you're going to go to heaven. He doesn't care any of that. He cares what's in your heart. That's all what he cares. Thank you guys for being here. I'm truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. That's good, Boozer. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want everyone to have an amazing day. Jump in on live later on, but I'm really appreciative for every single one of you being on this live. I love you guys. May God be with you. Always, always, always. I'll see you guys on my next live. Bye, y'all. If y'all want to see it again, please review it, like this, and subscribe as well. Bye.